Welcome to the course SPSS Statistical Package for the Social Sciences. So before starting the presentation, let's have a look on all the topics that we are going to cover under this presentation. First, we'll talk about introduction and review, under which we'll talk about SPSS, what is the statistical software and what does it mean, and the whole overview about this SPSS. So when we talk about SPSS, basically this is a software package which is used for statistical analysis, and it allows user to perform complex statistical analysis, data management, and data documentation. And this is a software which is commonly used in social sciences researchers, psychology, sociology, economics, and even though when we talk about healthcare research, even we use SPSS over there too. The next thing is about background of SPSS. So when we talk about background of SPSS, so as we know, SPSS was first formed in the year 1960s, in late 1960s. So over the period of like 50 60 years, like how this SPSS got new format and new kind of a versions. Like right now if we talk about SPSS, so there are multiple versions like 15, there is a 16, 17, 18, 19. So how over the period of time this SPSS actually took growth, and right now if we talk about SPSS, it is acquired by IBM. So what are the new features which are even taken by SPSS? The next thing is about essential features of SPSS. So when we talk about SPSS and its integral features, so we see data management is a very integral thing which comes under this. Like it provide a very good platform under which we can manage data, we can compile data, and we can further analyze data by using various techniques. It also provide descriptive statistics, under which we'll talk about mean, median, mode, minimum, maximum, and even though other kind of techniques too. Data visualization, that is the most important and the interesting part of SPSS, because when we want to see how our data looks, so sometimes through numerical values we are not able to understand in a better way, whereas SPSS give us a unique feature through which we can see like data in a visual form through histogram, through bar graph, and as well as through pie chart. So for example, we talk like we have collected data from some like 2 or 3 states of India, and further we want to know the demographic analysis. So it will give us a very beautiful representation that how many males were there, females were there, their educational criteria, and how many of them were married, unmarried, and their income criteria. So yeah, this is a very unique feature of our SPSS. Further, we talk about the customization, which is an essential feature of SPSS. So even though when we do have a multiple files or multiple variables and we want to compile them, so SPSS give us that unique feature through which we can compile our variables and further we can analyze our data. The next topic that we'll cover, that is the advantage and benefits of SPSS. So SPSS is very user-friendly interface that any person can just with a training, like he can easily use. It is not very complex system for which like you need a learning of a 2-3 years. So yes, just within a span of might be 1 month or a 1.5 month or a very good training, you can easily understand it and further you can use it. Second, it provides us a comprehensive statistical analysis, whether you talk about descriptive statistics or you talk about inferential statistics. Data management, as we have covered it under the essential feature of SPSS. So yes, it provides a very good way of data management system. Then integration and data visualization, these are the another advantage that we see under SPSS. Further, we'll talk about that what are the practical implications of SPSS. Like right now, if we talk like where we can use it, like what are the uses of SPSS, which are the various areas through which in which we can use SPSS, or if we learn SPSS, what are the potential areas where we can go and we can utilize this particular skill. The first one is a research and academia. As you know, like if we are doing a research, especially in a social sciences, so we must know SPSS, because there will be some descriptive statistics that we have to analyze, and without SPSS we will not be able to do. So research and academia is a first integral area where we can use it. Further, we can use it in our business and marketing, because when we do have a bunch of data and we want to analyze the records and the respondents feedback, so in marketing area we can further use SPSS. Healthcare and medicine is another potential area where SPSS can be used when we have a bunch of data and the feedback taken by some practitioner or might be local respondent. So as through SPSS we can easily analyze that data. Government and policy, this is another potential area where we can use SPSS over there. Education and training, quality control and manufacturing, financial services, these are the other areas where we can actually utilize the techniques of SPSS over there. Further, we'll talk about skill enhanced. So if a person go through SPSS training, these are the skills which will be surely enhanced in a person. The first is the statistical analysis. He will be able to know at what moment, what kind of a technique he have to apply. Like if we talk, like in SPSS, there are multiple techniques like a factor analysis, t-test, ANOVA, correlation, regression, and further even we talk about regression, there is a linear regression or multiple regression. So yes, when you know about SPSS, it enhances your skill to know that what kind of a data you have, what are your objective, and further which technique you have to apply over there. Further, you can easily analyze your data, you can easily manage your data, that how basically you have to import your CSV files, your Excel files in a SPSS. It will increase the efficiency of a person and as well as the decision making efforts, we can say, because once you are able to know like which techniques you have to apply and how you can analyze your data, so it comprehensively as holistically it will enhance your multiple skills once you know, and as well as it will help you to know that what kind of a career opportunities are in the market and which will be suitable for you. Like further, like before we talked about the practical implication, so yes, it will help you to know like you can go in a healthcare area, you can go for a government policy, or you can go for marketing, or might be you can go for research and academia. It will help you to know more about your own self. Further, when we talk about how to use SPSS, so we'll talk basically that what are the various steps through which we can use SPSS. Because directly we can't jump on SPSS. We have to first make a Excel file and see, or you can say CSV file, and there is a proper way to prepare that file. And further, we have to import that Excel file uh, into SPSS. So yes, how to code your variables over there, how to import your data. So yes, in this particular step we'll talk like how basically we go from a first to last step, like preparing your Excel file, further importing in a SPSS, further analyzing the data, and further interpreting the data, and in the end how basically you can go for the interpretation in a descriptive way over there. Okay, further we'll talk about material used in full course. So all the essential material that we'll use in a course, we'll talk about that in a detail, like what kind of a material will be important for you, through which you can enhance your skills more, and as well as you can be more handy on a SPSS. Further, we'll talk about the various career path that you can choose once you are skilled in the SPSS. We'll talk about that. Layout of a full course, that what are the techniques that we are going to cover under this particular course, whether we talk about SPSS techniques, or we talk about Excel file creation, or we talk about other kind of a techniques that which are essential part of our SPSS. We'll talk about that. Categories of data analysis. Under SPSS, what are the various categories of data analysis that you can actually analyze? Like if I give you example like a descriptive statistics, inferential statistics. So basically what are the various categories that you can analyze under SPSS. We'll talk about that, and as well as we'll cover all of those categories in your course. Factor analysis, yeah, this is the important like technique that again we use like when especially when you are doing exploratory study and you don't know like which are the variables, and then researcher are really keen to analyze the factor that which factor are related to your study, and if you have a multiple variables you want to see like it comes under which category. So factor analysis is a very common technique which is used over there. So we'll obviously we'll learn about factor analysis. Reliability analysis, that how much your data is reliable, because this is the most foremost and the prominent step. If your data is reliable, then only you can proceed with the statistical analysis. Otherwise, if your data is not reliable, you can't proceed with that. So how to calculate the reliability, how to calculate the Cronbach alpha in your data set. So we'll talk about that. So further we'll talk about correlation, that what is a correlation and how we can calculate correlation. Then regression, what is a linear regression or multiple regression, and how basically we can calculate that, and what is the difference between correlation and regression, what kind of a data set you require for these kind of a analysis, and at what moment we have to apply these techniques. We'll talk about that. Another thing is the ANOVA t-test. You might have heard about these tests, and these are a commonly used test in social sciences and as well as a psychology, sociology. So we'll talk about this, like if you have to calculate ANOVA, how you can calculate ANOVA, and for t-test, like how you can calculate t-test, what is the difference in ANOVA and t-test, at what places you can apply these kind of a test. So this is the overview of a table of content. I hope you had a good picture like what are the things that we are going to cover in this presentation.